Good evening. Good evening, Facebook. Good evening, Instagram. This is Gersha Porter on Instagram. I'm Gersha Realtor, and I welcome you all to our second part of 11 Millionaire Must-Have Habits. So come on in. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, Natasha, for joining in. Happy birthday, by the way. Hopefully I'm nice and clear and on Instagram. I'm looking forward to some folks joining in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the hearts. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you're from. If you're from the Baltimore, Maryland area where I am, shout out Baltimore. If you're from another state, if you're from another country, let us know you're joining in to learn more about 11 Millionaire Must-Have Habits. And before we dive into our topic for tonight, I want to first do an introduction, and I'll introduce myself again as soon as some more folks come on. But my name is Gersha Porter. I am a 15-year real estate veteran, a six-figure business owner. I am a certified coach with Tim and Julie Harris. And I'm excited to be a woman who's working hard to impact business owners, entrepreneurs, as well as the community. So thank you again for joining in tonight. And before we get started, I'm going to read, I got a couple of emails. Today makes the sixth Facebook Live I've done. And I've been able to do a couple of Instagrams at the same time. So tonight I hope it is a success. But two, I want to read to you really quickly. One message said, your lead generation tips put me back in business mode in January, and I'm excited for the 2019 selling season. So it was really good to get that kind of communication. If what you're getting from the Facebook Lives and the Instagram Lives are beneficial to you, please do. Send me a DM, an instant message, or an email. Let me know that it's working for you. You're getting some valuable information when we get together on these Wednesday nights, and I am going to work real hard to continue to do this. A second note that I received, I wanted to share it with you guys. It says, I've been running a business for 20 years, and the millionaire habits you shared gave me pause to re-examine how I can move forward with renewed confidence. So I'm going to review the 8 habits we went over last week, and it'll be a refresher for some of you and new to some others. But if you didn't get a chance, you can always go back and look at that Facebook Live. And I'm also excited to say, since January the 30th, when I started the Facebook Lives, I've been able to secure 2 new real estate coaching clients. So I'm excited about that as well. So hopefully the information is going to work well. I'm looking to impact business owner, realtors, side business hustlers. Some of you who are in corporate America, this is going to work for you as well as you continue to pick up some different strategies and some techniques to move you forward. So what I'd like to do before we get into part 2 is just quickly go over part 1 of the 11 must-have millionaire agent or millionaire business habits. So habit number 1 was assess your strengths, abilities, and your background. Number 2 was to accept that what worked for you in the past may not work for you in today's market or in today's business place. Number 3 is to brag discreetly. Number 4 is to familiarize yourself with the finer things in life. And we had a lot of folks weigh in on what they may be, those finer things. Number 5 is to use good manners. Number 6 was to become comfortable with public speaking, get comfortable with Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and all the ways that we now can get in front of folks and talk. And number 7 was to do a great job of keeping your networks and your contacts together. And I had a client just this week who had been working with a buyer in the past, kind of lost touch with her, and wasn't able to put the pieces together in terms of how she even got that referral. So sometimes your database is really a great thing. The notes in your phone might be a good thing. I continue to talk about these amazing cell phones that we walk around with, which are absolutely computers. There's so many ways that you can make your notes. So you want to make sure that you have an opportunity to do that. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Thanks so much for joining, Reggie. Hello, my friend. And I think you're in, where are you now? Chicago. Hey, Jennifer, Daryl, Renee, thank you guys for joining in. So those were the 7 millionaire must-have habits that we talked about last week. So I'm going to dive right in. Once again, my name is Gersha Porter. I am a 15-year real estate veteran. My background is in human resources. I do run a 6-figure real estate business, and I am a certified coach with Tim and Julie Harris. So if you're interested in learning more about our real estate coaching program, just send me a message on Instagram or send me a message on Facebook. And my email is gersha@gershaporter.com. All right. So millionaire must-have habit number 8 is travel. So we want to broaden our horizons. We want to go to someplace different. And this is one of the times I'm going to just kind of ask you guys, weigh in. If anybody's been anywhere recently, let's say in the last 12 months, that you felt may have given you the opportunity to broaden your horizons, let us know. Write it in the chat, in the comment, on Facebook, or in the chat on Instagram. What you would know, and you could probably tell us, is that it not only gives you an understanding of people and different cultures, but when you come back, what do we have? We have some amazing stories that we can share with folks. So whether you're in a business place and you get an opportunity to have a conversation with somebody, you can share with them some of what you've done while you were away. Let's see, who's gone somewhere? Hey, Steve, who's gone somewhere? So Reggie has gone to Cancun in the last 12 months. Hopefully that experience brought you back some stories that you can share in the workplace or with your business. Reggie, you have a travel business, I think, so you probably get to a lot of places some of us would like to get to. It makes you actually more interesting. It makes you more likable, and I absolutely believe that it can give you an opportunity to just bring up some things that you may not have been able to bring up before. So we want to make sure that, I don't know what you have coming up for 2019. Travel doesn't have to be out of the country. It could be right down the road. So some of us live in areas where we could take a 3-hour ride. We're still in our same state, but we have traveled. So make sure that you incorporate some travel as you move to become more like a millionaire. So Steve, you went to Miami to the 10X Growth Con. Awesome. Tell us a little bit more about that if you get a chance in the chat. I really do appreciate that. So travel is the number 8 millionaire must-have habit. It makes us more interesting and it makes us more likable. Habit number 9 is to have and exude a positive mental attitude. Some folks start their day off on Facebook and they're actually either having a great day or a not so great day, and you know it because you see what they write. So if you've ever spent the afternoon with somebody who is complaining, somebody who has not so much of a positive outlook on life, it can really bring you down. So we, as folks who are striving to be more like millionaires, we want to have positive energy. We want to have be around people who radiate that back as well. So you might need to change your circle. You might need to change your girlfriends. You might need to change your buddies. You want to be a source of pleasure to other people. You want to be present when they're talking. You want to show that you're actually listening to what they're saying. You don't want to be a complainer. We all have days that aren't so great. But when you call somebody and say, hey, what's up? And they begin to tell you about all the negative things, I think a lot of times we begin to shut down and shut off as well. So all the complaining does is really invite more complaining. So you want to make sure that you exude that positive mental attitude and others will be able to do the same for you. So millionaire habit number 9 is have and exude a positive mental attitude. Thanks, Donnell. I could see you've got away to Myrtle Beach. Ohio, and Greer, South Carolina. Excellent. So we've had some folks who took advantage of that millionaire habit number 8, which is to travel. Daryl, you're in a group and you guys are all millionaire minded, and that's excellent. So you want to stay around folks who have that positive mental attitude. Hey, Howard, thanks so much for joining. Hey, Truly Share, thanks so much for joining. So millionaire habit number 10. If 8 and 9 made a lot of sense to you, and those are some things you think you might easily be able to incorporate in the next month or two, let me see some thumbs up and some hearts. Number 10 is to dress a notch higher than your clients. So some of us work from home. I do. Some of us work in business casual environments. Business owners tend to dress differently depending on if they're going to have a meeting or not. But what we want to do is not go out and buy a $5,000 suit or drive an expensive car. You just want to make sure that your basic kinds of things, grooming habits, neat nails, just the basic kinds of things that will put you a little bit ahead of where your clients might be. You want to exude that level of confidence. You want to feel better about yourself. And oftentimes we do, it'll increase our confidence when we do tend to dress just a notch higher than our clients. So think about what you might be able to do as you put forth as much effort as you can to project that millionaire mindset, this millionaire habit, which is to dress a notch higher than your clients, okay? Sometimes it's the pen that you hold. There's some really small things that we can do to help put us just a notch above our clients. So make sure it's a nice pen, not some old used up ball pen, just some little things that we can do. Anybody else have a suggestion outside of wearing a really expensive suit or very expensive shoes that we might be able to do to bring ourselves just a notch above our clients? All righty. Looking to see what we have. There's some comments. Hey, Michelle, thanks for joining us on Instagram. Hey, Daph, thanks for joining us on Instagram. All righty. Hey, Brandy, thanks for joining us. We were just talking about dress a notch higher than your client. So, millionaire must-have habit number 11 is to successful people, they tend to know what's going on in the world. So some of us joke about they get their news from Instagram. How many of you get your news from Instagram? Some folks wake up first thing in the morning and they absolutely look at their phone to get the news. But you want to make sure you know generally what's going on in the world. So if you haven't had an opportunity to set your phone to Google News, you could subscribe to what you want to see about. There are lots and lots. Just about every news medium is on the internet. So you can get a quick summary of what's going on by absolutely taking a look at your phone. Who still reads the newspaper? Depending on where you are, who still reads the newspaper? Hey, Tracy, thanks so much for joining me this evening for the 11 Millionaire Must-Have Habits Part 2. Who still reads the newspaper or use another source to actually learn about what's going on? So you want to make sure that you can use Google News to set up alerts on the topics that are of interest to you. Really, at your fingertips, you could have so much information about what's going on in the world. XM Radio, some folks listen to that on their way into the office every day. Most radio stations now have an app as well. So if you are using something outside of a phone and an app to get your news, let us know what it might be. If you still read the paper, I get a community paper once a week, and I absolutely like to flip through that as well. Tell us about what you use to get your news to figure out what's going on in the world. And I know we had 1 or 2 folks here from outside of the U.S. that joined us today, and I appreciate that. What do you use to figure out what's going on in the world near you? All that information that you have about the news absolutely gives you a topic to talk about when you meet with people. You don't have to dive too deep into it, but you can at least say, hey, did you hear about X, Y, and Z? I just recently, I think yesterday, noticed that there was something big going on with the weather in Alabama, and it affected quite a few people. So it's just important to get a sense of what's going on in the news. So successful people know what's happening in the world. So what we've done tonight is finished up the 11 millionaire must-have habits. And I'm just going to quickly go over them again. Number 8 is to travel. And we asked you guys what you have planned for this year. And I have a business conference. I'm going to be heading to Florida in June. Looking forward to that. You can never go to the same places too many times, especially if you get a new opportunity. So you want to travel, make yourself more interesting, make yourself more likable. Number 9, you want to have and exude a positive mental attitude. Nobody wants to be around a grouch. Hey, Steve, I see you get your news from Twitter. And I'm going to admit that's one of the mediums I am not on. I'm not really comfortable with yet, but I have a plan this year to get better with Twitter. So back to rule number 9, have and exude that positive mental attitude. Habit number 10 is to dress a notch higher than your client, and it's not just about the suit that we have on or the shoes. It could be your jewelry, your pen, your padfolio, the backpack or the briefcase that you carry your laptop in. Make sure that you are just a notch higher than your client. And that's what most of our millionaires have as their habit. And number 11 is that successful people know what's happening in the world. So make sure that you either hop on Twitter, that you have Google News set up for yourself so that you could know exactly what might be going on in your local as well as national and international news. And the good old newspaper, if you are still, I love to read the newspaper when I'm on vacation especially. Take a look into the community newspapers that are available, your state and national newspapers that come out. So that is successful habit number 11. If you have any questions about how our coaching program can help you move forward as a business person, a realtor, or as a side business hustler, we're looking forward to talking with you. So feel free to send me a message on Instagram, DM me, send a message through Facebook, or you can always email me at gersha@gershaporter.com. Thank you again for joining me tonight. I look forward to meeting with you next week. This is the month of, this is Women's Month, Women's History Month, and the next few Facebook Lives will be geared towards all the amazing women. So thank you again for joining us tonight for the second part of 11 Millionaire Must-Have Habits. Please also, I forgot to ask, I'm going to ask now at the end, please share this Facebook Live. Hopefully it will impact a business owner, an entrepreneur, or a side hustler with some of these millionaire must-have habits that we share tonight. So please do share my Facebook Live. And if you have any questions or comments, I look forward to you. If you're joining this after the live, please do comment. I'll look forward to responding to you. And you could also directly message me if you'd like to get some more information about how we can help you move forward with your business. Thank you again, and good night.